Welcome to Vay's World Special Edition Podcast. Hi, and I'm Nevaeh. Today we are going to meet the creative people on Little News Ears, streaming news for kids. Dan Buck is the owner and most of the brains who runs Little News Ears. We are also going to meet Timmy Ong, who has made over 100 episodes of World Kind Lines with Paxton. Michelle Mitas, she makes weird and gross news with Queen Xena. Morgan Terrence, she is the voice of Cookie and Pleep. Glowing Glow, she does a monthly show called Little Jade Tree News and is based in the Philippines. Adrien Foreman is 14 and does shows that focus on performing arts called Precious Presents. Hi everyone, good morning. I'm gonna start off with Dan first. Okay, what type of news does Little News Ears offer?
Good question. Little News Ears, the way I say it is I want it to be news that's just different, news for kids that's different. So it started off by me making kind of quirky news that you don't usually see kids deliver. And then it's opened up to other types of news. So we have all kinds of shows, and I would say we're just trying to do something a bit different. So instead of having just like traditional news like, hello, we're gonna learn about kittens, or we're gonna learn like very happy, basic things about the world, I kind of want to just delve deeper and just create something different. So all of our, I do write some of the shows, but a lot of our hosts make their own content and do their own thing. And just as long as it's different and interesting for kids and educational, it's good.
Who could be on the show and how do they go about it?
So for people who want Little News Ears, basically you audition. So you send a 30-second clip of yourself giving some kind of kids news. And then I give tips and I give pointers. But we look for news for all ages. So ages who are, it could be for a 4-year-old watching or a 16-year-old watching or whatnot. We really want to be like a network of news for kids shows.
What is Boxer Blue and Dragon Ranger Owl, and how do they lead to Little News Ears?
But anyway, it's all about George Burns, who was a big star in the 80s, and he was in his 80s. But he actually went back to vaudeville. So he was famous in vaudeville, he became famous on radio, became famous on TV, and he wrote all about his wife and the shows. And I said to myself, I really want to make like a different radio show or podcast show for kids. And that's just kind of how it started. And I have 2 kids. One of them at the time was 4 years old. One of them was 2 years old at the time. And I just said, like, right now, Donald Trump is in office. And it's a little controversial. Like, some people are upset about things. People are happy with him. And that was kind of an inspiration. Oh, this is cool. Like, let's make news for kids to focus on a lot of those stories. And that's kind of where it started.
Why did you start Little News Ears?
I just basically started Little News Ears just to get kids interested in the news. I'm passionate about news myself. I read the news every single day. I think for the past 10, 15 years, I've read the New York Times. It was my just favorite newspaper. And I think there's so much about news that kids don't care about. And I think part of that is the polarization of the news, how it's like, it's liberal, it's CNN or it's Fox News, like you don't listen to both sides of it. And when I was a kid back in the 80s, we watched the Challenger space catastrophe, right? So the Challenger shuttle exploded. And I don't know about our older people here who are my age or older, like such as maybe Michelle Boyce, for example. But when I was a kid, they actually brought the TVs in school and we watched, and I was like in 5th grade, we watched the Challenger explosion happen, I would say 5 times that day. And it was a big deal. We talked about it when it happened. If that same thing happened today, that would never happen. You wouldn't even talk about it. It'd just be like, oh, something bad has happened, but like you would not tell kids about that. And I think that's messed up. I think, the news and what's going on is extremely important.
Who are you and what is your story?
Who am I? What was my story? So I'm an educator. I'm currently the director of the lower school at the Briarwood School in Houston. We specialize in dyslexia intervention, also students who have other language-based differences. But I used to be an actor a long time ago. So I basically combined my interests as both an educator working with kids. I was a teacher for a long time, and just kind of making entertainment. So I find it fun just to kind of share little things I've learned around the world. I used to live abroad for about 16 years, and I think I have a different, unique perspective on education and parenting and life, and I just find it fun to kind of make content for kids and teachers.
Wow, that's very cool.
Thanks.
Precious, I want to ask you a question. What are your stories about?
Yeah, so my stories are about, my show is called Precious Presents Performing Arts, and pretty much is all entertainment news. So each episode, I will present something different. It could be like directing or pageants or whatever. So yeah, and I also do interviews and have special guests. So pretty much about, like I said, entertainment news. And sometimes I'll have a special guest on it. We'll never know if she or he has the
Wow, okay, thank you. Morgan, how did you find Little Newsier?
That's a wonderful question. I actually worked on a separate project with Dan called The Dark Time Universe. I filmed it in my bathroom, and it was me, Dan, and this man, Charlie. And it was I don't even know how to describe it. It was a very eclectic piece of suspenseful horror. It was really cool. It took a lot of different otherworldly aspects and threw them together into a crazy storyline. And then Dan was like, do you want any more work? And I was like, of course I do, because I'm also an actor and performer. And he presented me Little Newsiers, and I absolutely loved it.
That's amazing. I'm gonna ask Michelle the same question that I asked you, which was, how did you find Little Newsiers?
Yeah, so Dan and I actually used to work together in Jersey. We worked in a new and upcoming school in Hoboken. So we worked together, so we had that was where we first connected, and we also became friends. And he mentioned, and I knew he was always interested in the news because we would discuss news items, and he would share things that he'd read in the papers. And he mentioned Little Newsiers to me, and I was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. So yeah, that's how it started for me.
That's really cool. Glow, what do you do and what do you offer for Little Newsiers?
Hi everyone, thank you, Nevaeh. What do I offer? What is very the Little J3 News under the Little News Ears would usually offer about the Asian American community and Pacific Islander community, and it has to be very trending, informative, educational. These are all both for teachers and K-12 students. So yeah, and everything has to pass through that, so it has to be very relevant and educational and informative, and it has to be fun as well.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it for?
More than a year now.
That's really nice.
Yes. I can't believe it went so fast.
Yeah. Timmy, who are you and what do you offer Little Newsiers?
Hi, I'm Timmy. I'm an actor based in New York City, and I used to voice Paxton for World Headlines, which are headlines for kids, made simplified, made accessible for kids. And yeah, just basically news from all around the world, just like a simple title like what's happening in Russia, what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Germany, China, the UK, just all different places. And the funny thing is, Dan used to be the person who looked for those interesting news for me. I'll be like, I'll be learning about it as I'm reading it, and then I will make it hopefully interesting for kids to listen to as well. So that's what I offer. But and I've done that for almost close to 2 years. 2 years and 100 episodes, and now I'm passing the baton to Lauren.
Are you passing the baton to me right now?
Yes.
Great. Oh my God. I don't know if you saw my face, but I was like, wow, over 100 episodes. I was like, wow, I'm honored. Yeah, Paxton's a wonderful character. And as Timmy said, like, I absolutely love learning new things around the world as well, because I feel like everybody is here because they really enjoy the news. And as Dan said, it's a different type of news. It's not filtered, in my opinion. It's kind of just like put out there. And I feel like that's what a lot of people like and want nowadays. And as Timmy said, that's exactly what Paxton does. I don't know. I read my script and I'm like, I didn't even know that happened. Where have I been?
Same. A lot of the times I'm like, oh, there's this thing happening that I didn't even know about. And I also like how Dan packages the script. I feel like Dan takes away a lot of the biases and just presents like the facts, like as a fact, and like let's see how the audience receives it. And yeah, I think that's really cool.
That is wonderful. That's so amazing to hear. Well, I don't have any more questions for you guys, so if you guys want to ask me questions, you can.
Yes. So I will start asking questions, and then others can come in if they choose to. Are you interested yourself in, when you grow up, becoming a reporter?
Maybe. I don't really know, because I'm more interested in my acting career because I've been doing it for a while now, and it's really fun. I started doing the reporting for you because COVID happened and I wasn't getting any auditions because of the lockdown and not many jobs. So I started this, but it's really wonderful and fun to do.
Cool. And I guess a side question, what kind of acting roles do you want now? Like, what's your dream? Would you like to be like on a Disney show or?
Yeah, I would love to be in a Disney show because I love going to Disney and it's just really fun and the shows are really entertaining.
Anyone else want to ask Nevaeh some questions? Otherwise, I'm happy to. Any questions?
I have a question. Yeah. So I want to ask, what are you contributing to the Little News Ears?
Well, what I'm contributing to the Little News Ears is little stories. Like one I did was for cats, the cat that is the richest cat ever and stuff like that. I do just little fun ones, like emojis and stuff like that. They're really fun.
She did one on Elon Musk recently that was interesting.
Wow.
That caught my eye.
I have a question for Nevaeh.
Right.
Acting is wonderful. I'm also an improv teacher, and one of my favorite things to ask my students is, what does Nevaeh like to do when is pronoun she?
Yeah.
Okay. When she is not acting or reporting that you think could contribute to a Little News Ears, or just what you like to do in general?
Well, one thing that I love to do is play on my Oculus that I got for Christmas. It's really fun to play, and I play this game called VR Chat with my friends, and it's just really fun. But I also like to go swimming and play outside with all my neighborhood friends. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Nevaeh, I'm sorry if I missed it. How old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
11. Wow. And when did you start acting?
It was around 6 years ago.
Wow. And what is it that you love about acting? What's your favorite thing, and what's perhaps a favorite role for you? Character.
Something that I love about acting. My favorite thing that I like to do for acting is I like to. Oh, I don't know. That's such a hard question. Well, when I go on set, I like to get my makeup and hair done. And the cast members are just really fun and respectful to you. And they make it really fun to be there.
Oh, that's lovely. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And I also got an agent when I was 7 years old.
Wow. And is there a particular kind of character that you like to morph into?
I like to morph into like fun characters, like what's the word, bubbly? I don't know. Yeah, like, yeah.
That sounds brilliant. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a question for Nevaeh too. You mentioned just now that your favorite part on set is to do your hair and makeup. So I'm that makes me wonder, do you only do on-screen acting, or are you interested in stage acting as well? And which one do you like more?
I've never tried stage acting before. I've always just done on-camera acting because I have a studio in my house. It's not too big, but it's enough to work with for auditions and the little news years. But I would be willing to try stage acting one time if I had the chance.
All right, very cool, very cool.
Thank you.
All right, Nevaeh. Hi. I want to ask, like, what do you do in your spare time?
What I do in my spare time, I hang out with my family and we watch movies downstairs, or like I said, I play on my Oculus, or I hang out with my friends or go swimming, like to the beach. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you could do in your spare time.
What's your favorite movie, Nevaeh?
My favorite movie?
Yeah, do you have?
I don't have a favorite because I watched way too many.
I can understand that.
Yeah, there's way too many.
Too many good ones, right? Do you prefer movies or TV shows?
TV shows.
What's your favorite?
Movies. I don't know.
I can understand because I don't know what my favorite is. There's too many to choose from.
Sorry to chime in. What's your favorite right now? Like the one TV show or movie that's popping up in your head, like, oh, this one, I really like this one.
It's one of the medical ones on Hulu. What's the name?
About the 90s show.
I don't know. Or it could be the new 90s show that came out.
Oh,
I already watched it all. Yeah.
Well, I have another question I want to ask. Like, what is one of your biggest goals for acting, like, in the future?
One of my biggest goals, I would love to be in a movie. I haven't been in a movie yet because I've only done TV commercials, but I was in a TV series.
What was that TV series? How can we find it?
I don't remember the name, but it was on Amazon Prime. Life's Rewards. I was on episode 6 and 7.
Where can we find you on social media or whatever?
My YouTube channel, it's just Nevaeh Cable, Vay's World. What else is there? My Instagram, it's also Nevaeh Cable, and that's all my socials that I have.
Do other people also want to share their socials, like Precious and Dan and Glow, and Michelle and Morgan?
Sure.
Yeah.
With me, Little News Ears is probably the easiest way to find me on Instagram or whatnot. So everybody else can share.
Yes, I'm on Instagram at its_PreciousRose.
Sure, I'll go. O_my_mo27.
Oh, I'll go. Timmy_Ong. Very simple. Just that.
What is it? Timmy underscore?
Timmy_Ong. As in ONG.
Got it.
First name _ last name.
Got it. Thank you. Mine's Michelle Mitas, which is my maiden name, MITAS on Instagram, but there's not really anything to see, but I mean, yeah, but feel free to find me. I actually have a question, Dan, for you.
Okay.
Yeah, what is your, I remember when sort of you were thinking about Little Newses, I remember all of that, and where do you sort of want it to go next, or do you just want it to keep, keep steady, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I had very big ambitions in the beginning. It used to be a subscriber website. So I wanted it to be like Netflix for news for kids. But I've come to the realization that there's not that much of a demand for it. So in terms of paying for subscribers and whatnot. So my vision is actually, and this sounds crazy, but I want to change the culture of just like how we see news for kids in schools. So I have a new enterprise. It's called Mighty News. It's a search engine for news for kids. Basically, I'm gradually going to be going into schools via webinars and whatnot, and that will help little news ears get bigger too. But I just want it to be big. You know, I want eventually every news for kids show to join us, because we're the only one that's like a diverse group of news for kids shows. So that's my vision. It'll take a long time. I'm not give up. Love it.
Like a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, my social media, you can see me in Facebook for Bright Marie, and for my Instagram, it's glowing_star. Thank you.
And by the way I met Glow was from Dark Time as well. She was one of the original people who, for a promo, was like, Dark Time, Dark Time, Dark Time. That's where she came from. We'll give you. That's right. Okay. All right, Nevaeh, do you want to wrap up the show?
Yes, thank you all for being here. It was a pleasure to meet each and every one of you.
Thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time your Sunday. And I love working with you all, and look forward to more of your episodes. All right.
Thanks, Nevaeh. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so
Everybody.
much to
Thank
all.
you.
Time. Thank you.
A wonderful morning and happy Lunar New Year.
Thank you.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Good point. Good point.
Hey, Fat Choy.
And on a new moon.
Now you get the idea of who the people are on Little News Ears. I enjoyed talking to them and hope to talk to them again real soon. Please like and subscribe. See you on my next show.